Nix isn't good by Thanksgiving next year. And what's interesting is Sean's intense. So I got to know Sean really well when he worked here, and I loved him. Dinner with Sean Payton, story time. And he's intense. Now, everybody coaches different. Matt LaFleur doesn't feel as intense. Sean Payton feels more intense. So if I said, hey, Bo Nix, Drew Brees is going to give you one piece of advice for Sean's personality, his intellect. You're smiling. What is the piece of advice you would give Bo Nix? Because Sean can get hot. Sean's going to be demanding. Your personality can handle it. Is there a piece of advice you'd give Bo Nix?
Yeah, be just as demanding right back to him.
Okay.
You know, Sean likes that. Sean wants to see you confident and sure. Everything. Obviously, Sean and I got to a place with our relationship where it was almost like we could finish each other's sentences. Yeah. I knew exactly what he was thinking before he called the play. We had just rehearsed it so much. We had talked about it so much throughout the course of the week that, I knew the minute we crossed the 50-yard line, this was the play call coming out of his mouth. The minute we're inside the red zone, this is the play we're running. The minute they go to this defense, he wants this, or that pressure, he wants this, right? And it's stuff that we've talked about and rehearsed together. Night before the game, we're dotting the call sheet. Here's my favorite play, Sean. He's telling me his favorite plays, right? We're just, again, rehearsing it over and over so that we can just be as if, kind of one, one mind out there together. But look, of course, there were moments where, man, I'm going to make a mistake. And we got to the point where, man, he knows that I knew that I made the mistake, right? He doesn't need to be yelling and screaming at me. But for a young quarterback who's trying to really teach and coach and kind of get on the same page with him, there's probably going to be a lot more of that, and he'll be pretty firm with you at times. And I think what he loves to see, and I think a lot of this came from Parcells. Parcells would be very demanding on his assistant coaches, right? And Parcells wanted those coaches to have the same type of, kind of intensity and confidence coming right back at him. So I think Sean loves that coming back from the quarterback.
So Aaron.
Yeah, I think that's such awesome advice from Drew Brees. And if you really kind of read between the lines of what he's saying in terms of what his advice is for Bo Nix, is to develop this collaborative relationship. When someone is so demanding and has such a big personality, especially when you're really young, like a rookie quarterback, of course, it's very easy for you just to, I don't want to say become a yes man, but you're just really it just becomes more one-sided, right? You could just really absorb everything that the coach is telling you, and you're not now sharing. It's not because you know more, but sharing where you're at, being more open and honest, what you like versus what you don't like, what you're comfortable with, what you're confused by, what makes sense to you, whatever it may be. And the more open and honest and collaborative Bo Nix can be with Sean Payton, the deeper now Sean Payton understands Bo Nix. And now the better Sean Payton can communicate and talk with Bo Nix. And now Bo Nix understands Sean Payton more, right? It's literally like a relationship, like a friendship, a romantic relationship, whatever it may be. It's communication, right? You can't be in a relationship, you can't have a friendship without really great communication. And so a collaborative relationship, it doesn't mean that, Bo Nix now has more weight into like, hey, I want to do this, so let's do it, right? Like that's now being demanding. It's different, but it's saying, hey, you know what? I actually really like this. I feel comfortable doing this. Now Sean Payton's like, oh, okay, he's really comfortable with this. One, I'm going to keep in the playbook, or two, I'm going to see how we can expand, how we can build off that. Like, okay, interesting. So he's comfortable in this aspect, a little bit uncomfortable in this part of it. Let me see, like, how do I make sense of that? How do I connect these dots for a bigger picture? It's a head coach like that is going to be part mathematician, part scientist, part artist, part singer, composer, director. It's just you're a little bit of everything. And so the more you get, the more it makes sense. So I think that's honestly such brilliant advice, right? Like he could have been a little bit more generic and could have been like, oh, just listen to what Sean Payton has to say. He has his best interest out for you or whatever. And no, but he's like, no, like, be as demanding back to him, talk to him, communicate. And that's why I loved how Drew then, shared like, we would be talking about this and that and going through the playbook and obviously Drew Brees earned that right too. But I think you can do it early on as well. It doesn't have to be like, well, listen, I'm more of a seasoned veteran, therefore my opinion matters more. Because like I said, it's not a matter of being like, this is what I want, so please let's do it. It's just like, again, it's that open and honest, deep level of communication that not a lot of players give their coaches, and quite frankly, not a lot of coaches get that out of their players. It's like, I can't emphasize this enough. It's so important for both sides to be able to be like, I need you to be able to communicate with me. I'm not a mind reader. I used to have coaches that would say that all the time. I'm not a mind reader. What is going through your mind? What are you feeling? What are you confused by? What are you comfortable with? What are you uncomfortable with? What is happening, right? Like, what is going on? And it's tough because, not unlike a relationship, sometimes when you're young and immature, like, you think you just want the other person just to like know how you're feeling, know what you're thinking, right? You see this a lot in a lot of, early relationships where, you're dating someone or whatever, and they're just like, I just want you to know how what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling. I just want you to know that I'm upset about something that happened at work. And it's like, I don't know that. You need to tell me that you're upset. I'm not a mind reader here. Just come in and say, hey, I'm really upset because of blank, or you did this thing and I'm upset that you did it. Like, I don't know that I did that thing that made you upset. Just tell me, communicate with me, tell me what I did wrong and what you would like me to do. And I can either say, you know what, I disagree with you, or okay, I agree with you, whatever it may be. That's how you work on a relationship. That's how you learn and grow. And that is exactly how a coaching and quarterback, and really just coaching any player for that matter, but especially quarterback relationships are going to be. So yeah, I think it's great advice, because even myself, when I was talking about Bo Nix and Sean Payton, why I think that relationship and it is going to work so well, a lot of what I talked about is that I think like Bo Nix is hyper intelligent and wants it so badly, and you have a great mind like Sean Payton, and how Bo Nix is going to be able to take like really big chunk strides and just get better and better and better, and Sean Payton will put him in a position to succeed, and yada yada yada. And I kind of overlooked the whole idea of Bo Nix now hopefully being able to communicate back with Sean Payton. And now, again, it's such a synergistic relationship and a collaboration that will really just cause this thing to grow. And I think what's so exciting about that as well is that Bo Nix is coming into this I keep saying relationship, so yeah, I guess, into this coaching relationship with Sean Payton that is both has a lot of foundation already there, but like a rough foundation, right? So not someone who's already been in the league for like 5-6 years who has to really unlearn things, but also not so raw that it's like, man, we really got to build you from the ground up, right? So there's no rebuilding that needs to take place, and there's no just building from the ground up either. You got a very experienced college quarterback in Bo Nix, who now has a pretty strong, solid foundation that Sean Payton then gets to kind of rework slightly, but then also build out from that. So that's also another reason why I think this happens sooner rather than later with Bo Nix and Sean Payton. So yeah, I'm really happy I came across this clip, because I just think it highlights just the many complexities of a coach-quarterback relationship, and why some work, some don't, and the importance of what a coach and a quarterback can do honestly for each other, how they both learn and grow. Because again, also with Bo Nix communicating back to Sean Payton and being really more honest and firm and communicative, that helps Sean Payton now be able to be a better coach, not only for himself, but then also for Bo Nix. He gets to become, you have to like teach how, like, how do you need to be coached? How do you, what do I need to do to put you in a position to succeed? I always talk about that with coaches, how important it is for a coach to put their players in a position to succeed. And the way they do that is by deeply learning and understanding who their players are. Otherwise, you're just guessing. Otherwise, you're just like, yeah, this guy's going to go over here and this guy's going to go over there, until you actually really know how can they succeed? What are they comfortable in? What are they uncomfortable in? What do they seem to be getting versus not? So really cool stuff. Hopefully Bo Nix has heard that, and hopefully Sean Payton has conveyed that to him as well. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Sean Payton and Bo Nix? And like the question says here, what makes Nix such a good fit in Denver, and Drew Brees' advice to Bo Nix? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.